faithfulness to the Hebrew language as well as it does to the Western language. The Hebrew Bible, though, in the Old Testament is extremely important in creation. Creation is an act. It's an act. In John, the first chapter, and Colossians, the first chapter, we see the act of God the Son bringing everything into order and building it, putting it together. And that's action. That's action. That's power. Everything that has been created was created out of things that are what? This is a test. Out of what? Out of invisible things. In the book of Hebrews, that which is invisible was brought into the visible realm. We have the capacity now, they say, to see about 4% of everything that exists. 4% of everything that exists. 4%. That's 96% we don't see, or nor can we even, are we able to grasp or understand, to see, or even understand in any way, or fathom what it is. 96% we don't know. Of those 96%, they say there are 10 dimensions. As we study God's Word, we're going to go interdimensional, because we're going to go from eternity into space and time and back in eternity and back into space and time. And that's different dimensions, people. It's different dimensions. John, the first chapter. I'm going to jump over to the New Testament real quick. John, first chapter. Let's look at it. We went there a little bit this morning in my class. John 1 and 2, it says, He was in the beginning. He kept on being in the beginning with God. It says, all things came into being through Him, and apart from Him, nothing came into being that has come into being. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in darkness, and darkness does not want to take hold of it. It doesn't want to grasp it. It doesn't want to touch it. There came a man sent from God whose name was John. That's what we got. We talked about John the Baptist this morning. He came for witness, that he might bear witness of the what? The light. The light. The word light in Greek is phos. 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 We got a word phosphorus. The name Frank comes from light. Francis comes from the name light in Greek. These are the names, light. We find that God created the heavens and the earth, and it became darkness. And God put it back together and set it back in order and put light carriers in it. The moon and the stars and the sun. Everything in the Old Testament tells a story. Everything that happened in eternity past is a lesson for us. Satan rebelled against God. What's going to happen to the old boy in the end? Going to go and file 13. Everybody that follows the way of Satan is going to go and file 13 also. That's hell. File 13. The wrong place to be. We come to a part that's kind of redundant in the book of Genesis right now. Genesis, the 18th chapter, verse 23, is kind of redundant. But even though it's redundant, it's very important, because we have a lesson to learn from this. And the lesson is intercession. Jesus is our intercessor. He stands behind us. And Abraham was a type of the intercession that the Lord does for us every day, because we're all sinners. We're all sinners. Let's look here in Genesis 18, verse 23. Now, I have written down in your interlinear, you have the Hebrew there, which you can tell what Hebrew is, okay? And right above Hebrew is how you say it in English. Cindy, can you read the first word there? Wayigos. Wayigos. Can you see that? Wayigos. We're in 18 and verse 23. Have you found your places over there? 18:23. It's a little past halfway. 18:23. Wayigas Avraham. All right. Did you find your places? All right. Wayigas Avraham Wayomer. Right. Ha'af Tisbeh. Tasedik. Do you see that sod here in the front? It looks like a Y with a tail on it like that. That's TS. That's TS. It's an S, but it's got a sis sound. It's Melchizedek. Remember the name Melchizedek? The root of Melchizedek is that word right here. Melchizedek means king of righteousness. All right, that's the word righteous there. Zedek. And then Rasha. Rasha. Right. And down below the translation, and drew near. Actually, the idea of it here in Hebrew is, and he kept on drawing near. It's third person masculine singular. See, it says 3ms, third person masculine singular. Kal, stem, wow, consecutive imperfect. Now that sounds like a whole lot, but what we're trying to do is work out the action. And he kept on drawing near Abraham, Avraham. Now remember Avram's name. You know all about this, don't you, Brother A? That's the root of your name right there. There's your name. Avram. And by the way, the base there, do you see that base, the second letter? It goes from the right. Is a Aleph and a Beit and a Resh and a Hay and a Mem. And then down below, those funny looking little things there are vowels that tell you how to say it. Okay? Avraham. That Beit there is a V sound. Av. Remember in the New Testament, it says, and Jesus cried out, Abba Father. Abba Father. Abba, Father. That's the word, Father, right there. Abba. Abba. He cried out, Abba, Father. And kept on drawing near Abraham, and he kept on saying. He continued to say, now, Abraham was talking to God. He's following God along. He's talking to Jesus, okay? Ha'af. The even, see that word hey there in the front of that ha, that H there, that's an H sound. That first letter there, it looks like this. That is a hey, and that's an H sound, and that's a definite article. Ha, that's a definite article. Now in Greek, there's ho, hey, and to. 3 different kinds of definite articles: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay. In Greek, you just have, in Hebrew, you've got one that takes care of all of them. All right? You don't have to worry about it. Because the rest of the verse there will tell you the rest of it, okay? The also, or the even, you shall sweep away. Third person, masculine, singular. Or second person, masculine, singular. Why did I say third? Second, you shall sweep away and keep on sweeping away the righteous, the tzaddik, the righteous, with the righteous people, with the rasha. Say rasha. Rasha is wicked. Okay? The Hebrew equivalent probably of wicked here, I don't have the Septuagint with me, but it's probably ponarion. Wicked people, twisted, messed up people, twisted people. Lascivious, uncareful is what it says there. Lascivious. Lascivious means people that are not careful, people that are not persuaded. 18:24 now. Now, Exodus 23:7, Numbers 16:22, 2 Samuel 24:17, the Psalm 11:4-7, and 18:24 now. Ulay, Resh, Hamishim. It's got two shiz in there. Hamishim. Now, in modern Hebrew, it would be Hamasim. Hamasim. But in biblical Hebrew, it's got the shik sound. Hamishim. I like it better in biblical Hebrew. Hamishim. Hamishim, that means 50, the 50. Tazadikim, Betok, Ha'er. All right. And then Ha'af, Tizpeh, Wilo, Tiso, La, Ma, Gob. Li, Ma'an, Hamishim, Hatz, Se, Hatzad, Dikim. The next one's Asher, that's really easy. Asher. And then B, Kir, Ba. You lay perhaps are, or there is the 50. Now what he's doing, he's talking to Jesus here, and he said, now, are you going to destroy all of these wicked people? And if there's 50 good people in that city, if there's 50 in that city, would you destroy the whole city and destroy the 50 with all the bad ones? Now he's betting on something right in the end of this. What do you think he's thinking about? Abraham. Lot. How many are in Lot's family? How many are in Lot's family? He's got a wife, and he's got 2 daughters that we know of. So how many is that? 4. And he's got 2 son-in-laws they're engaged to his daughters. Now, evidently, they're not married yet, but they're engaged. They haven't consummated them in marriage yet, but they're engaged, and they've already paid the dowry and everything else. For some reason, they haven't consummated the marriage. But so how many would, if he had 4 and had 2 to that, how many would that be? 6. Huh? 6. Okay. 4 and 2 is 6. He gets all the way down to 5. So he's betting that old Lot has had enough influence in that town that there's going to be 5 saved people in Sodom. Let's see what happens.
Dr. Phillips?
Yes.
I think this situation is very interesting because now the human debating with God, right?
Yeah, Abraham is debating. He's interceding. This is the type of Jesus intercessory between pure righteousness and what we are.
But I never seen an ancient Asian culture human debate
with God.
Because every time, just God.
Man can't touch God. In most of the cultures of the world, in the Muslim culture, man is far away from God.
You just obey.
Yeah, you just obey. You don't get close to Him. But with the Bible's God, the God of the Bible is not the God of the cultures of the world. Their culture of God was so far and He was so far and so holy that you couldn't touch Him. Nor would He ever come down to your level. But we have here now, we have a type of what's really happening. Okay? With God. God loves man so much that He became flesh. God became flesh to redeem us to Himself. And on the cross of Calvary, you don't know how much conflict took place on that cross or in that Garden of Gethsemane. All of this intercession took place right there. Through every human being, throughout all space and time, this intercession, this argument went on right there. You know why Jesus sweat great drops of blood? Is because of our sins right there, and everybody else's was placed upon Him. And this is the intercession. Abraham was a type of intercessor like Jesus is for us. The Muslim world puts God so high that you can't come to Him. They've got all kinds of names describing how wonderful He is, but He's far away from man. The Jehovah's Witnesses, He's up there. We can't touch him. He didn't come down here. Jesus was an angel. You know, that wasn't God. He was just an angel. The Mormonism. God is way ahead of them, but they're little gods, and they can catch up after a period of time. All of this displaces who God is. This here is describing our God. Our God loves us. And we do have access to Him. He's not way up yonder that we can't touch. He can be touched with our weaknesses. He can be touched with our sorrows. Jesus felt it all. The 50. Hamashim. Righteous. In the middle. Look at it. In middle. Say, be told. That second line there, the middle word. In middle. Be told. That, by the way, you can write down 88 if you want to out there in front of that bay there. That's where you look it up on page 88. That base there means in. In middle. Be told in middle. Ha-er, the city. Er is the city and Ha is the city. Ha-off. And even you shall keep on sweeping away and destroying. Tispeh. You shall keep on destroying willow and knot. What's the Greek equivalent to knot? Ook. Ook. That adverb of negation. All right? Page 294 if you want to write that one down with a ook. Okay? And then tiso. You shall keep on forgiving. You shall keep on forgiving. You shall keep on forgiving the place because the 50, the righteous, which in the middle of it. You'll keep on overlooking all of those bad dudes because there are 50 righteous in that city. You're going to overlook all of their bad deeds. Okay? All their bad deeds. 1825 now. Halila. Lika. Mi asot. Ad davar. Hazeh. Lihamit. Tizidik. Im. Rasha. Remember that word, Rasha. That's bad. Wahaya. Kasidik. Harasha. Halila. Wah. Ha Shofet. Kal. Haaretz. Lo. Yaashte. Mishpat. I remember when I lived up in Nevada, the finest place to eat in 500 miles was the Mizpah Hotel. Mizpah. And that's the word right there where it comes from. Mizpah. Remember when old Whitey, what was his name? The one called Whitey? Laban. Laban means white. Laban and Jacob. Remember Laban and Jacob? They made a deal there. They made a covenant there. And it said, let's see this judgment between you and me. And from now on, everything's settled. Mishpah. For it be to you from doing in word, all right, davar. Remember that word davar there? That's the word that we get the idea of the word in the New Testament logos from, in davar. That's when they come to the name of Jehovah, they said that's the word davar. Right? It also means statement. In word, the this, hazeh, to kill the righteous, tzadik, him with the wicked ones, and let it would become third person masculine singular cal wow consecutive perfect, the righteous like the wicked. Far be it to you, the one judging, masculine singular cal participle, the one judging of all the earth. He's the is God the judge of all the earth? Now who's he talking to here? He's talking to Jesus. All right, he is the judge. By the way, who's he going to judge the world with? All the angels and everything else. Who's he going to judge with at the great judgment here? Who's he going to judge? Who's going to be his co-judge? Huh? Who? The church. His special relationship church. And guess what? We live in the church age. We have an opportunity to be a co-ruler and judge. His wife is considered part of him in eternity. She's going to sit on the throne right next to him. Isn't that something? A privilege. Israel will be below that. Israel will be below that. All right. Or be it not, he shall execute judgment. 1826 now. What's that word there? Wyomer. All right, and here we not run into the word Jehovah, and we just translate it, we'll just say Devar. In the modern Hebrew, they call him who? Adonai. All right, they do not say that word. We cannot say it. Okay? And then Imsa, Besedom, Hamashim, Tzadikim, Betok, Ha'er, Winasati, Likol, Hamagom, Avuron. All right. Wyomer, and he kept on saying Jehovah, if I keep on finding, in Sodom, Sodom, see that? In Sodom, 50, the 50, righteous. Be told, in the middle, higher, the city, Winasati, I shall forgive, I shall keep on forgiving to all the people for the sake of them. If there are 50 righteous people in there, do you think Jesus knew how many there were in that city? Sure he did. Abraham didn't know. I can guarantee you. But he keeps on lowering the bar. Keeps on lowering the bar. Okay? Wayan. Abraham. Have you learned to see what the name Abraham looks like yet? All right. How about Wyomer? Wyomer. All right. Hene, Na, Ha, Walti, Le Devar, El, Adonai. There's the word Adonai. It's not that other one now. We Anoki, Afar, Wa, Ifar. All right. And answered, and kept on answering, Abraham. And he said, and kept on saying, Hene, behold, now, wa, ha, walti, I shall have undertaken to speak unto master. That word's master there. Let's go over here in the New Testament and let's look at this word just a little bit in the New Testament. We're going to see it in the book of Revelation. Let's chase it over there. We got to tie some of this stuff together. We're going to find out who this is. I find it. The 19th chapter of the book of Revelation, we're going to find this word over here in the New Testament. It is Adonai. Okay? 19 and verse 13. Verse 11. Go all the way back to that. And I saw heaven opened up, and behold, a Luca Hippos, a white horse. Okay? A white horse. And he sat upon it, it's called faithful and true, and righteousness. See that word righteousness there? That's sterake. All right, righteousness. He judges and makes war. And his eyes are like a flame of fire, and upon his head are many diadems. And he has a name written upon him which no one knows except himself. And he is clothed with a robe dipped in blood, and his name is called what? Hadabar. Jehovah. He's called Jehovah. Right? The Word of God. He's God's Jehovah. John 1 and 1. John 1:14. John 1:18. 14. And the armies which are in heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Or what is the idea of white in the Bible? What? Righteousness and purity. All right. They're clothed with His purity and His righteousness. We're following Him on what kind of horses? Luke on. Okay, white horses. And from his mouth come out a sharp sword, so that with it he may smite the nations, and will rule them with a rod of iron. And he treads the winepress of his fierce wrath of the God Almighty. Well, who is God Almighty? What is the term in Hebrew for God Almighty? El Shaddai. El Shaddai. El Shaddai. God Almighty. See, all of this goes back to the Old Testament. Those names in the Old Testament are extremely important. 16. And on his robe and on his side he has a name written. King of Kings and Lord of Lords. In Hebrew that is Adonai Ha'adonai. Adonai Ha'adonai. That's, you write down in this little cross-reference from the book of Genesis here, you write down these books of this reference in the New Testament. Revelation 19, 11 through 17. All right. Adonai. All right. And he answered Abraham and said, kept on saying, behold now, I have undertaken to speak unto Adonai. And this is who he is. You just cross-reference that right back over there to the New Testament, to Revelation, the 19th chapter. That's who this is. And we Anoki, and I, Afar, dust, we Ephar, and ashes. I am dust and ashes. He is nothing. 1828 now. Where? What? All right. Yule, that is. Yule. Yah. Sarum. Ha-Mishim. Hatsadikim. Ha-Mishah. Hats. She-Kit. Ha-Shik-Kit. All right. Baha-Mishah. Het. Kal. Ha'er. Wayomer. Lo. Ash. Shit. Imsa. Sham. Arbaim. Waha-Mishah. And then he says, you lay here. You lay, perhaps, maybe, shall keep on lacking, shall keep on coming short the 50. Righteous. 5 shall you destroy, for 5 et all the city said not, I shall destroy, if I shall find there 40 and 5. 40 and 5. So if there's 45 in the city, Jehovah is not going to destroy this city. Right? 45. Now here we keep on going. Very redundant. Wayaseth. Od. Lidavar. Elal. Wayomer. Yule. Yim Matsium. Sham. Arbaim. Wayomer. Lo. Eseh. Ba Avur. ha'arbaim. And he kept on and continued still to speak unto him. Unto him is who? That's Jehovah. Remember, Jehovah has appeared unto him with 2 angels. Right? And he said, he kept on saying, he just continued to speak, perhaps, maybe, you shall find, or shall be found, they shall be found, that is, third person masculine plural, they shall be found, and kept on being found there, Psalm 40. And he said, not, I shall keep on doing for the sake of the 40. So he said, if we find 40 there, then I'm going to be killed. Okay? Now this is God patient with us? He's pretty patient with Abraham right here, wasn't he? He's pretty patient. Wyomer. All. Na. Yichar. La Done. Wa'adavera. Yule. Yim Matsiun. Sham. Shiloshim. Well, we're down to 30. Wyomer. Lo. Ese. Yim. Yimatsa. Sham. Shiloshim. Say Shiloshim. Shiloshim is 30. Shiloshim. Wyomer. And he kept on saying, not now. Let be, don't flame out. Don't burn up. Don't blow up on me. He's getting a little bit afraid. Now here's Jehovah he's talking to, and he just keeps on interrogating Jehovah and saying, now, well, let's go down just a little bit further. Don't get mad and flame out. Don't let your face flame out. Have you ever seen anybody get mad and their face just turns red? That's what he's talking about here. It's talking about the expression. Have you ever seen anybody, have one of your teachers in school ever turned red in the face? They have? Oh, they get mad, huh? All right. That happens sometimes. Red in the face. In the book of Genesis, in the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapter of the book of Genesis, we find Jehovah there speaking to Cain. Cain. And Jehovah says, why is your face flaming out? Why is your face flaming out with anger? If you do right, won't you be happy? Won't you be at peace? He said, if you only do right, your face will not flame out. That's what he's talking about here. That's the term, to burn with anger, when your face just flames out. Le Adonai, to the Adonai. Here we have the word Adonai again. To the Lord. And I may speak, maybe. They shall be found there. Third person masculine plural, hit the L, imperfect. They shall keep on being founding there. 30. And he said, not I shall do if. I shall find Sham Shiloshim. 30. Go on. 1831. Now we're going to get to the 18th chapter tonight, by the way, I think. Maybe. Wyomer. Henne. Na. Howalti. Li Dever. El. Adonai. Yule. Yim Matsiun. See that neen on the end of that? Sham. Esrim. Here we got down to 20 now. Esrim. Wyomer. Lo. Oschit. Ba Abur. Ha Ishrim. All right. And he kept on talking. And he kept on saying, behold now, I have undertaken, I have become willing, I show willingness to speak to the Lord of Lords. Right here, the Lord of Lords. Perhaps, Yamatziun, perhaps they shall keep on being found there 20. Wyomer. And he said, no, I shall destroy. I shall keep on destroying Ba'abur for the sake of the 20. 1832 now. 1832. Are you getting tired of old Abraham's talking here now? He's just going on and on and on and on. But I'm going to tell you something. How many times has Jesus gone on and on and on pleading for your sake when you should have been destroyed? The Lord should have killed me a few hundred times ago, but he said, instead of that, he sent a lot of angels to protect me. I should have croaked 1,000 times in my life, but I have been had mercy and the grace and in the eyes of the Lord. Wyomer. All na yechar li Adonai wa adabara ak ha ha'an yule yim matsi un shal asara. Oh, now we're down to 10. Wyomer. Lo Ashkeet Ba'abur Ha'asara. And he kept on saying, not now, let be flamed out and angry. His face burning with anger, Jehovah. That's who he's talking about. Adonai here, King of Kings. And I may speak. I shall speak. And this is first person construct PL, coherte. I am speaking loudly. I am begging you. I am pleading with you. That's what the term means here. Isn't the PL stem? And PL stem means what? With great force and compassion. This is begging. Now I am begging you only this time. Maybe. They shall be found. Keep on being found. Shall bear 10. Oh, we're down here now. He's getting down to 10 now. I want to tell you something. Abraham's got the idea. Maybe even that Lot has got 10 of them converted. But he's going to go lower. 10. And he said, not Hachit. Not Hachit. I shall keep on destroying because of the 10. 1833. Here is the final stroke.
I think God was kind of like smiling. Like he's
The Lord knew it all.
Yeah.
But God put it in His book, didn't He? He put it in the book. It's really important. Even though it gets redundant, even though it might bore us, listen to Abraham and say, Lord, why didn't you just slap him, just pull his beard or something? Kind of just say, shut up, Abraham. I know what I'm doing. He did know what he's doing, didn't he? Why y'all left? And then we have that word. Who is that? Olivar. That's the Word of God. That's John 1:1 right there. And it's Revelation the 19th chapter. Ka'eshur, Kila, Lidabar, El, Abraham. We, Abraham, Shab, Lemkomo. And went away Jehovah when he had finished to speak unto Abram. And Abram, he returned, he turned away, he had turned to his place. He went home now. He thinks that there's going to be 10 people there. Lot has got 10 people converted in Sodom. What was Lot in Sodom? What kind of character was he? What was Lot's occupation? He was a lawyer and a judge. That's what he was. He sat in the gate of the city. When it says that he sat in the gate of the city, that meant he argued cases before the city. When you came to a city, back in those days, there was usually a double wall around the city. And between the gates, you walked in the outside of the wall. Let's just make it easy. Here is the city, a walled city, okay? And here is a gate here and a gate here. And outside here in the entrance of this city is a place here where the court was in session all the time. The first place you came into a city was in the courthouse. How many of you knew that? Anybody know that? No? Okay. Here's the courthouse. All along here is a bunch of lawyers and judges. And right in here, Lot made a habit of being a lawyer and a judge in the city. And he was in between the two gates. When you walked in there, you went into the courtroom. And that's where he went. Now you would think that here we have a saved man, and the New Testament says Lot was saved. He had a righteous soul. Society. A righteous soul. The title soon. He had a righteous soul. But I tell you what, that old boy didn't have one bit of testimony. Not even to his wife, nor his daughter. At all. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful man. Pitiful man. Pitiful man. And went away Joseph to home. Now we're going to find the rest of the story. Here in Lot, when they come in the city, guess who you're going to find right off the bat? Lot. Lot's going to be in the city. And in the city, inside of here, is a lot of houses. Just all kinds of little houses all over the place. And usually out here in the middle of it was a recreational center of some sort. Probably the place was skullduggery in this place. All right, so Lot is a judge, and he's a lawyer in the city. He judged and he lawyered cases. He defended people. He was like a defense attorney, just exactly like Abraham just did here, defending, go-between. All right? Wayahu. Shani. Hamalaki. Sidomah. Ba'eret. Lot. Yosheb. Sha'ar. Sidon. Yar. Lot. Yagam. Look at that little old bitty short word that turns into Yagam. Lik Ra Tam. Yish Tahu. Apayim. Aretsa. Okay, now let's go back and look at this verse. And they came in. That's all three of them. And they came in to Shani. Say Shani. Shani, that's two. Shani. That means divided. Shani. That means to divide. It's two. Okay. To Ha-Malakim. The angels. Two of the angels. Sidomah. To Sodom. Now these angels leave Malakim. Look at that. The two angels. The two angels. I'm going to tell you something. These two angels could destroy that city so easily. So easily. Now, we're going to look at these angels in just a few minutes. We're going to go back in Genesis 6th chapter. We're going to look at some angels back there. Genesis chapter 6. Malakim, the angels. To Sodom at evening. Literally it says in evening. And Lot. We eloped. And Lot. Now what does Lot mean? What does the name Lot mean? Hidden or secret. Hidden or secret. Dark. Obscure. Hidden, secret, dark, or obscure. Okay? That's what Lot's name means. In the evening. Now the angels come into Sodom. What does Sodom mean, by the way? Huh? Flammable. A flammable place. A hot spot, so to speak. All right? Old Sodom, the hot spot. And here is Lot. And what is he doing? He's sitting. Masculine, singular, trial, participle. He's sitting in gate. Right here, he's a judge in the city now. When you come in here, you see Lot. Okay? Here comes Lot. Sodom, the flammable place. By the way, if you see the page numbers down there, in Brown Driver's Briggs, if you go look at Brown Driver Briggs, the Hebrew lexicon, you'll find that. And if I have the second letter over there, it's either in Brown Driver Biggs or in one of these two big lexicons right here. There's 2,000-page lexicon right here. This is Kohler and Baumgartner. It is it's quite a lexicon. It tells you the history of all the words. Now this is what the modern printing of the Davidson's analytical Hebrew lexicon looks like. This is what you'll see if you go down to Barnes & Noble or something, or the Korean bookstore. This is what it's going to look like in this kind of cover. This is the old one. And it's got every word in the Hebrew Old Testament categorized. Number, gender, and case. And it's either declined or conjugated in that little bitty book. And that one there tells you the history. That's the etymology, the study of the history of that language. All right, now over here we've got two angels going into Sodom, and they see Lot. All right, they see Lot. And he rose up to meet them and fell upon his face. Yish tahu, fell upon his face, apayim, on his face to the earth. He fell upon his face to the earth. He prostrated himself because he knew who they were. Lot has been found out. All the time God knew what was going on in that city. All the time he knew that he was in the gate. And being a non-witness. A non-witness. Wyomer. Hene. Na. Adonai. Seru. Na. El. Bet. Amadakim. We lenu. Waya Hitsu. Rag Lekem. Tomten. Wehish. Wehalaktem. Li Dar Ketem. Wayomaru. Lo. Ki. Vare Hob. Nalim. And he kept on saying, behold now, my lords. He called them Adonai. Now what happened to Jesus? What did Jesus do? He left. Jesus is not here anymore. Jesus sends his two witnesses, these two angels. Now, if you go over here and you look up there to the Ark of the Covenant, right there above the Ark of the Covenant in that tabernacle there are two cherubim or angels standing there with their wings toward each other. Okay? And they're witnesses. They witnessed every time that the blood was sprinkled in there, they witnessed the forgiveness of sin. And every time somebody is saved in this world, every time somebody is born again in this world, there are two witnesses there, angels, that witness your salvation. Every time that a child is conceived in the world, there are witnesses there to see that that life was conceived. Every time that a person dies, if you are born again, there are two witnesses, two angels come and escort you into the presence of God. Now, according to Luke the 6th chapter, those that are lost are also escorted into the place of darkness. Also, by probably fallen angels or demons. Okay? Verse 2. And he said, he kept on saying, behold now, my lords, my masters, my kings, turn aside. I beg unto house of the king of your servant, and rub away the night. Rub away the night. Masculine plural, kal imperative. Rub away the night. Just spend the night. We used to, when people used to sit around in the evening, they would do things to rub away time. Rub out time. That's what it means here, to rub out time. It's what you used to call killing time. What you do for killing time. If you own a job and you're a watchman or something like that, you do your job and watch, but you do something else to kill time. Some people will crochet, some people will draw, some people will carve and whittle or whatever. You know, they do things to kill time, to rub away time. He said, "Come to my house and under my roof and rub out the night. Spend the night and wash your feet. Wash. We ra katsu. Wash your feet, and rise up early, and get up early, and get out of here." Why do you think old Lot's so busy? You know, we find out in the Old Testament time when some visitors come to your house out there in the middle of the desert or whatever else, they kept them and entertained them for 3 days. Why in the world is Lot breaking custom here? Huh?
He doesn't want them to know.
You don't want them to see what's going on here. Get out of here. It's not safe for you to be in this horrible place. My very close friend just had to go back to Illinois. He went back to Chicago this morning on a flight. And he's going into Chicago Heights. Have anyone here been to Chicago Heights? That's a rough place. That's a rough place. You don't want to walk the street in Chicago Heights. They told him to just stay indoors. Eat there in the hotels and mind your business. Don't go out there in Chicago Heights. I went through Chicago Heights in there, and boy, I went through there about 1 or 2 o'clock on a Friday night. And when I pulled into that town, I reached in my back pocket, and I pulled my pistol out, and I set it on the seat, because I thought any moment that I was going to have that pistol to defend myself. I was going to play like Santa Paul here in the middle of all this. I went down one time in old Mexico, down there in Juarez. I just got across the border down there, and people started falling down in front of me and running up to I drove down into old Mexico. You know, that's not real smart to do. But that's from 1970-something. And my wife and kids with me. And I drove down there, and they were falling in front of me, coming up with all kinds of drugs and cigarettes and whiskey and everything, wanting to sell me stuff. I said, I'm not interested. I'm trying to go to the Presidio over there. I want to get my seat covers put on my car. That's what I want to do. That's what you did back then. You get real leather seat covers, real cheap and everything else. These guys said, we'll lead you over there. We'll tell you. Follow us. And here I know the sign said go that way, and here we went off this way. In my pocket came out the gun again. I got over there, and I pulled over in the deal, and they pulled in and said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hollering to me like this, like that. I said, you guys are trying to hijack me, and I'm not going to go for that. Oh, you better do it. You better give us money. I pulled the pistol out, and the gunfight was on. It was over. I got in my car, and I left, and I went across that border. When I got to that border, I was so mad. That guy said, what's wrong? I said, man, I've never come back to this low-life place ever in this world again. This is the last time. He said, what'd you buy? And I said, nothing. How long you were there? And I said, too long. I wanted out of there. That was Sodom and Gomorrah. I know what Sodom and Gomorrah is like. I've been there. Been there. Wash your feet and get up early in the morning. Second person masculine plural. It fell. Wow, consecutive perfect. Get up out here and get out of here early in the morning and go to your way. And they said no. Because in the broad way we shall rub out the night. Right here in the middle of the city, we're going to spend the night. Oh, lots of, oh boy. He's rubbing his hands like, what in the world am I going to do now? What in the world am I going to do now? They found me out for sure. Now, boy, I mean, they're going to see how bad this place is. I'm a judge and a lawyer. Wayipsar. Bam. Miod. Wayasuru. Gila. Wayavu. El. Bito. Wayas. Lahem. Mish. Tesh. You mats satot. Afa. Waya Kalu. What? And he urged, he pushed, and he shoved. That's what it's all in this one. He kept on pushing, he kept on shoving, he kept on pushing them. That's all in this word. Inside, within, exceedingly. He's pushing them. I mean, he's shoving them. And come on, my brother. I mean, he's escorting them with great force. And they turned aside. Third person masculine plural, Kalawal consecutive. They kept on turning aside unto him. And they came in unto his house. And he made for them a feast of unleavened bread. Feast of unleavened bread. He didn't have time to let the dough rise. Besides that, leavened bread is considered unholy because it has yeast in it. Okay? And so he made two reasons. He didn't have time for the bread to rise, and one thing, he wasn't going to feed unholy bread to these angels. Okay? Angels can't eat. Did you see that? Angels look like people. They have form. Angels have form. So we know that these people saw these angels, okay? And they were being seen as he was shoving them, escorting them with great force into his house. And he baked, and they ate. They kept on eating. Evidently, they were hungry. I don't. What did angels eat in heaven? Do you know? Angel food. Something. I don't. Evidently, they eat when they want to. Tarim. Yishkavu. We Anship. Ha'er. Anship. Sidon. Nasabu. All. Ha-ga yit. Min na'ar. Wead. Nakim. Kal. Ha'am. Mikatse. Not yet. They had lain down. All right? They had not yet. They had continued to lay down. When you continue to lay down, you rest. That's when you go to bed. And men, all right? Common man, mortal men, all right? We Anshi. That means mortal men of the city. Ha'er Anshi, men of Sodom. They kept on surrounding. They had surrounded and kept on surrounding upon the house. All ha the yit. Min na'ar. From the youth, these are young guys, and unto geriatric ones, aged ones, worn out ones. That's what it means, that word there, zaken, it means worn out. From the young to the worn out. Those that are young and those that are tired out, worn out. All ha'am, all people from the end. Mikkatis. Now here, the house is being surrounded by old people that are worn out and young. And they're full of lust. Every one of them are full of lust. Lust. Ungodliness. Wayikru. El. Lo. Wayomaru. Lo. Ayeh. Ha'anashim. Asher, O, Ilika, Ha, Layela. Ha, Seim, Elinu, We Nida, Otam. I want to ask you something. This is too hard for you. It's not too hard. This is your first night in here. Look at this. Can you follow along? Eat carefully, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
We're spending a little time with this, and it means a whole lot more than what it says in the English translation. So much more. You missed the boat. There's so much there. And they called. They kept on calling unto Lot. And they kept on saying to him, Where the men? Where are the men which came in unto you the night, tonight, this very night? Bring them out unto us, that we may have sex with them. Who is at the door? Who is at the door? Who are they? Old and young people, full representative of this city. And they're a bunch of homosexuals. Because they saw these men walking in, and these men are two-legged men. They look like men, but they're angels, okay? Go back to the 6th chapter of Revelation. There's something about, not Revelation, Genesis. I said Revelation, didn't I? I don't want Revelation. I want Genesis. The 6th chapter of Genesis. Let's look at this. We'll look at it in English instead of Hebrew. I'll tell you what it says in Hebrew. Hey, I got it over here in Hebrew. It's over here in this worn out book. Genesis 6. Someplace. All right. We got 3 books up here. I ought to be able to say something with 3 books, shouldn't I? Now it came about when men began to multiply on the faces of the earth, that daughters were born to them. All right, the daughters were born to them. These daughters. We've been oath. The daughters were born to them. And then it says in 6 and verse 2, and the Beni Ha-Elohim et Benot, and the sons of God, and the daughters of men, that beautiful. The sons of God saw the daughters of men. Now this word sons of God there, that's angels, people. Those are angels. All the Hebrew, the rabbinical writings will say these are angels. If you look into a Hebrew translation, you'll find out that these are what they call supernatural beings. These are angels. Okay? The angels saw the daughters of men were beautiful. They were strikingly beautiful. They were just absolutely fantastic looking. And they took wives for themselves, whomever they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with mankind forever, because he also is flesh. Nevertheless, his days shall be 120 years. In other words, 120 years from now, I'm going to kill all the people upon this earth. Noah began building the ark for 120 years. We had Enoch preaching for a long time before this, because people were evil. Okay? Now, this is what happened. The Nephilim became on the earth in those days, also and afterwards. When the sons of God came into the daughters of men, they bore children to them, and they were giants. Men of old, men of renown, and the Lord and Jehovah saw that the wickedness of man was great upon the earth, and that every intent, every imagination of their thoughts and their heart was evil continually. Jeremiah 17 and verse 9, that's what it says there also. Now here we have the same situation over here. ungodly men and ungodly angels somehow want to get together. But we don't have ungodly angels here. We have godly angels. This is godly angels now. All right.
Dr. Phillips,
We get
is there Nephilim?
Nephilim. Nephilim means fallen ones. Nephilim means fallen ones. The Nephilim, I forgot to say that. Nephilim means fallen ones. And these were the gigantic. The word is giants in the Septuagint. Gigantic, giants. You want to go one more verse before we turn you loose? One more verse? How many? 19 and verse 5. Is that all right? You want to go another one? All right. Vayitzu alehem lo kapita vihadelet sikar asharau. Okay. And went out unto them Lot, to the entrance, to the doorway, and to the door. And he closed behind him. And he had closed behind him. We got to go a little further. Wayomer el na ache. Haru. And he kept on saying, not, I beg, my brethren, act evil. Look at that word raw in there. See the word raw? Not act evil. Don't do evil. Don't hurt them. Second person masculine plural, Hifel. Use it in meaning. Want to go a little further? Can't quit right here, can you? Or do we want to look next week? All right, let's go. Hine, na, li, shate, vanot, asher, lo, yadiu, ish, osia, na, etam, alakem, wa, ansu, lehen, ka, to, be, nekem, rock, laha, nashim, ha'el, el, all, ta'asu, davar, he, all, ken, ba, desel, korati. All right, and behold now, to me, two Benot, daughters, which is not have had sex. These are virgins, Yadin. They are virgins. They haven't had sex with a man. With man. Let me bring out, I beg, them unto you, and you keep on doing to them whatever you consider good in your eyes. Only to these men, these, not you do a thing, because therefore they have come unto the shadow of my roof. Unto the shadow. That word is shadow there. Betsel. In Greek that is skia. Unto the shadow of my roof. They come under the shadow of my roof, and they are under my protection. Please don't touch them. You take my daughters and go out and ravish them. Right. He probably had those poor girls locked up. I don't think those girls could even go out. But you know what? When people become perverted, God made a man and a woman to fit together perfectly. Sexually, they fit together. Two men don't fit together, people, and two women don't fit together. But a woman and a man fit together perfectly. But in perversion, in twisted affection, in twisted lust, men don't like women. Men like men and women like women. In Romans, the first chapter, it tells about this. Now, that's where we're going to go next week. Previews the coming attraction. Wickedness. Terrible wickedness. God hates that wickedness today just like He did way back here in the 19th chapter of the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 19. Do you have any questions? All right, we'll start at 19 verse 9 next week. 19 verse 9. Do you have any questions? What is the date today? 25. All right, do you have any questions? Brother A, have you got a question today? You know what these guys are? They're rats. These are skunks. These are ungodly buzzards, as Brother Madden used to call them. And they're going to get their end. All right. Thank you for enduring this. I hope that you we're learning the Bible. That's what we're learning. We're learning some Hebrew as we learn the Bible, and we learn Greek as we learn the Bible. We're learning the Bible, and I hope it's more real to you from the Hebrew and from the Greek than it is in just English. All right? Okay. I'm going to turn you loose on the world. I want you to go out and do something eternal. Don, would you mind dismissing us in prayer? You don't have to, but if you would, I'd feel free.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord, and we just thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come and share your word, Lord. And we just ask that you watch over each and every one of us as we go our ways, Lord, and just help us to show the light for us, Lord, for this world. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Well, we tried to turn that boring part of the Bible into something real. It was pretty redundant.
A lot of debating.
Yeah, a lot of debating, but when you realize that it's a type of what Jesus does for us, it's not a staff.
Dr. Phillips?
Yes.
The Shani is
Janine?
How about Shetai?
What?
Shetai.